If you guys are looking for any cheap and reliable coins, check out MMOPO.com. Use the code PINGU at checkout to get 8% off. Guys, welcome to episode number 17 of the Derby Current Live, and to start this episode, we're currently 4th in the table after 31 games. Our next opponents are Watford, so we can potentially close the gap between us and the top two at least. And Watford, of course, we did play them last night in real life, so it was quite a convenient timing for the game. Obviously, we did unfortunately lose 1-0 last night. A really good goal from João Pedro. There wasn't that much between the two teams. I think a lot of them had players missing. Like, once Watford get all their players back from injury and back from like international duty, it's a ridiculous team. You got like Sarr, Deeney, Hughes, Capoue, all to come back into that team that did play last night. So Watford should easily walk this league this season. And of course, Ben Foster, a very good goalkeeper. So yeah, I've changed the team a little bit around. I've gone for Ida and Delap up front, just for a big man. They're both quite big, but in terms of like heading ability, Ida's slightly better, just to try and feed off that a little bit more, maybe some long balls, and then push Tom Lawrence back to centre forward / cam. Wilson's gone on the right, and then Joswiak on the left, just so then Jordan Ibe can come off the bench and use his pace. I'm still not too sure what to do with Jack Marriott. Obviously, he's very good, and we can't really loan him out now until the end of the season, so we are kind of stuck with him. So I probably will play him, but I think for the time being, I'm going to try and use, since we're not at the crunch time yet, I think we'll try and use Duncan and a few other youngsters. So in between the two episodes, now that we have left the January transfer window, there's only really one thing we can spend our money on, and that's pre-contract signing. So of course we do have Tom Heaton, could potentially get on 31 to 46 grand a week wages. He is 34, which for a goalkeeper is okay. You know, we've got Ben Foster who's 37, so shouldn't be any real issue with Tom Heaton. Would be a decent goalkeeper, of course, but I've also added a few more. I literally went through, I'm trying to think realistically, like I went through at least about 5 or 6 pages on FIFA, looking at players with expiring contracts, looking them up on the game, and finding out they've already signed a new contract. So there isn't many, because I don't know, maybe the game's a little bit more intelligent now and doesn't let all their players go on a free. But so the players we do have, apart from Tom Heaton, we do have Timothy Fosu-Mensah from Manchester United. I think at 23 years old, really good centre back or right back if need be. I think that's a pretty good signing. Like, I don't think he'd be on too much wages, and should have a decent potential. So I don't know, it's a little bit tricky, because you either wait to find out the information on their wages, but then at the same time Man United could give him a new contract, or another club could come in and sign him quite quickly. So I do need to be careful about these. The next player is Utrecht from Bayern Munich, slightly younger, and I think he's not actually at Bayern Munich in real life. I think he's gone somewhere else, maybe like the Russian league. But yeah, at 32 he's a lot younger than Tom Heaton, a couple of years younger, and probably around the same rating, so it might make a little bit more sense to get Ulrecht. Then we have DeAndre Yedlin from Newcastle, really good wing back. I think if we are playing this 3-5-2, you know, he's essentially like Nathan Burton in terms of a Premier League quality. He's got a scanned face, which is nice. So I think he'd be a decent signing for us. I think that's a realistic one. Next player is Demarai Gray, who I think is probably the best out of this batch that I managed to find. Really good winger, you know, probably got a really good potential. At only 24, makes a lot of sense, and I do feel that he needs a move to play first team football. Like at Leicester, he's only coming on like 10-15 minutes here and there. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. And then the final player, because I think this Hugmar guy signed a new contract literally as I added him. It is Matai Vidra, who's actually out on loan at Benevento, but you can sign him on a pre-contract, which I think is quite interesting. And I don't think it was in the game before, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that was an option to sign players on pre-contracts if they're out on loan, but maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, Matai Vidra would be a really nice sign, of course, former Derby player, and wouldn't be too expensive, I don't think. So yeah, I think out of these, the one that stands out the most is Demarai Gray, of course. I think that's a no-brainer to sign a player of his quality if we can. But what I quite like about all these pre-contracts is they're quite realistic. I don't think there's anyone that really stands out. But I think realistically Damari Gray would go to a newly promoted Premier League side, so it makes a lot of sense, and we do need to move quite quickly if we are going to make these signings. I'm kind of tempted to get Ulrich, but at the same time he's kind of similar to Ben Foster, but 5 years younger in terms of quality, and he's not going to grow in stats, so unless Foster decides to retire, I'm not too sure if I'm going to get an older goalkeeper. I might just focus on getting a young one next season once we get some transfer money. So yeah, let's go in for Damari Gray. Obviously, quite interesting that we can get a pre-contract from a Leicester player, because technically they should be a rival. But yeah, let's see what he wants. So he wants a crucial role, which is probably expected for a very good player. You see, this is the good bit, because I've not scouted him. I ain't got a clue what his wages were, and I probably would have even offered him 35, 40 grand. So if we remove that and then just knock the bonus up slightly, hopefully he'll accept that. And I'm not too sure what's happening with my transfer budget, because it seems that the money's gone. So they've gone up to 33k, so I'll knock it back down to 30k and hopefully meet in the middle. Fortunately they're sticking at 33, so we'll go to 31 with 300k bonus. I think at this point I'll just accept it. 33k is a very good price for a very good player, and the signing on bonus is actually really, really small, which I'm quite happy to see. So there we go, there's our first pre-contract signing. It'll be interesting to see what rating he is and what kind of potential. Has got a few traits as well, so that's good to see. I think the other one that we will make is Matai Vidra. Of course, he was a former Derby player. That's interesting. You can approach him as soon as you return, so we literally have a window of maybe a day or two. So that's a little bit annoying that you can see to do it. I wonder if I could delegate. Maybe that's a little glitch that you could do. For some reason I can't pick Vidra now. The game's literally broken. Good old EA. Yeah, the new recent patch hasn't 100% worked in everything. There are a few bugs here and there. Yeah, unfortunately delegate doesn't work either. It seems to glitch the game when you do that. It literally forces me to pick Yedlin next. Which I think we will go for next. I think we've got a number of centre-backs already, so I'll wait to see what kind of wage Fosu Mensah's on. Obviously he's not playing too much at Man United. So I think Yedlin's a good one for that right-hand side, if we are potentially going to move to a more defensive formation once we do go to the Premier League, because we're not doing too well defensively, and this is against Championship teams, so it'll be interesting to see. It seems to like lock your wage budget literally on pre-contracts. I'll give him a 3-year deal because that'll get him to 30. And I do like signing players with player faces. It just makes things a little bit more just better looking, more aesthetically pleasing than default players. So I think 20k is about where I want to go with him, and then we'll give him 150k signing on bonus. Obviously he's not as good as Damari Gray, but still a decent player. They've just knocked on a big clean sheet bonus, which we'll take off, and then we'll just knock up this signing on bonus up to 250, and hopefully there we go. That's good to see. So 20 grand a week, I think, for DeAndre Yedlin. Really good price. And I remember when Newcastle signed him, he seems to have been there for an age now. He was at Spurs before, of course, but very, very pacey, and he's basically Burn, but slightly better in terms of Premier League quality. So I think for the time being, we'll leave it there for pre-contracts. So we've done a couple already. As I said, I'll wait for Fosu Mensah's weekly wage, kind of, because he might be on like really cheap wages or really expensive wages because he's at Man United, so I'm not too sure. So we'll leave that there for the time being. If any of you guys know any players that are expiring, obviously it's very difficult to know because the game seems to update them a little bit more frequently. Just let us know in the comment section down below. So yeah, I think this is what we're going to do from now on with the squad. Unfortunately, Matt Clark is out for this game with an injury. But in terms of the front two, I'm kind of tempted to keep Ida and Delap together just because they are both teenagers, and means they'll be up and running for next season. Here we are then at Vicarage Road against Watford. Obviously we just did play them in real life last night, so really nice time to play them in terms of the game, just to see how we do. Of course, looking at their team, they've gone for the 5-3-2. Interesting that Craig Dawson's at left wing back. Obviously, he has moved to Watford in real life. Like, I'm sure Ngakia is more of a wing back than Dawson. Obviously, we did sign Ben Foster from them, so they do have Daniel Backman in goal. Femenia, Cathcart, Cabaselli, and Ngakia in that defence. Then Shalabar, Will Hughes against his former club, Etienne Capoue, Luis Suarez, and Pussetto up top. I think Suarez moved. I think there's a few players in here that have moved, but obviously, because we haven't got a fully updated database, that's what we're working with. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do. Harry Wilson on the right-hand side, just see if he can get into the game a bit more. Also with the ball here on the right-hand side. Can he switch it into the middle? Yes, he can. And it is Jason Knight there to find the back of the net, who was really good last night. And it is a bit of a shame how much he gets played out of position, because in centre mid, he is really, really good and gets the goal to kick off this game nicely there. Just coming in with those runs from deep, and yeah, nice assist from Wilson, obviously on the right now. Can't say if Hughes, if he can slip him in. Seems a little bit heavy, the pass, but has still got it. Now with the shot, and with the goal into the top right hand corner. I'm quite surprised that went into the back of the net. Yeah, one of the new updates is that the players actually celebrate together now. On when you celebrate, they don't just run back to the halfway line and leave you all alone. So I guess EA just slowly fixing things, but at the same time breaking them. But yeah, really nice goal from Tom Lawrence to make it 2-0 and to get us into a really comfortable position. Into Delap, really good space with the shot, but saved by the goalkeeper. Obviously, that's partly the reason we're doing so well in this game in terms of scoring goals, because we did take Ben Foster off them, and they're playing not as good of a goalkeeper in Backman. Chance here in the box with Pussetto, pulls it back for Suarez. I think that's a really good save from Ben Foster to end off the first half. I think he got a hand to that. Yeah, obviously taking their goalkeeper has helped us in this particular game, just because they don't have such as good goalkeeper as Foster anymore. But we have picked up a couple of bookings in quite important areas. Right into the lap, nice bit of skill. Now into Lawrence, a lot of space to run into. Can he make it 3 and make sure we get all 3 points? Yes, we can. Did you just see his defender like headbutt the post? I might need to watch that back, because that was quite entertaining. Obviously not very nice, but quite comedic. You like trip on the goalkeeper? I don't think I'll see it on this one. Let me check on the instant replay. That is not very, not the greatest. It'd be interesting if he got injured from that. That is like an absolute. Then he does like the backflip. It's like WWE. And it's ridiculous. But yeah, we have made it 3-0 there with Tom Wright to get a couple of goals. Seems to be a little bit better at that cam position. And then with Ida and Delap in front of him. Trying to see if Joswiak to bring it forwards. Can we potentially make it 4-0 and fully wrap up this game? It's a good hand from the Austrian goalkeeper. I think he was linked to Derby, maybe last season or two. But we have just made a trouble substitution, bringing on Duncan, Rooney, and of course Sibley. Into Rooney, back to Sibley. Can I get it through for Lawrence? I think he's onside. Can he get his hat-trick now? Into the back of the net, but he is unfortunately offside. I don't think he scored a hat-trick yet this season. We've got a couple with the lap, but yeah, just a yard offside there. Watford through for Shalabar. Is that on? He is onside. So it's not best time concede, because I think we've conceded a couple late on in a few games, but as you can see, just really nice passing football. Kind of pulled out Bielik a little bit too much, and Shalabar found the space. And there we go, full time against Watford. It is a 3-1 victory away from home. We still do need to win 5 away games in a row, so if we are going to do that, we're going to have to be quite good between now and the end of the season away from home, because we haven't probably only got about 7 or 8 away games left. Just have a quick look and see if there's any more information on Fosu Mensah or any of the other players. Yeah, we still haven't got his wage yet, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with Yedlin and Demarai Gray. Only 53 grand a week in wages on those two. I think is pretty good. As you can see, like ridiculous pace stats, over 92 sprint speed, very good agility as well, very good jumping, and yeah, I could see him doing quite well on that right hand side next season if we do need a bit more of a defensive outlook. So yeah, let's go into the game against Brentford, who are currently 6th. Because of that last win, we have closed the gap slightly on Watford to only 5 points now. It's kind of like we've only drawn 2 games, like we either win or we lose, and we are only 2 goals now away from 100 goals this season, and as you can see, 63 goals conceded. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we do against Brentford. I think the playoffs are pretty nailed on now. It's more fighting towards getting the top 2 and hopefully knocking Forest out of the automatic promotion spot. So I think because we did do so well in that last game, I don't know if there's much of a need to make any changes unless Matt Clark is back from injury. So I think we could probably put him in. Yeah, so we'll do that. Bit of growth here to Duncan, gone to a 63, it's good to see. And that's what I kind of want. I want these younger players to grow in stats, because next season, if we are in the Premier League, I don't see much of an opportunity to get 60 rated players playing. Joswick also going to a 77, which is good to see. But other than that, I don't think there's any other growth. Here we are then against Brentford in their away strip, which is quite nice. I think it's a nice grey kit. They are playing a 4-3-3. David Ryan goal, who I was potentially going to look at instead of Ben Foster, but I thought Ben Foster's super cheap and will do a good job until the end of the season. Dalsgaard and Henry at fullback, then Pinnock and Charlie Good. Josh Da Silva, Marcondes and Jensen in the midfield. Benrahma, who of course did go to West Ham on deadline day. Somebody I might look at in this career mode, obviously, because he has moved teams. Ivan Toney up front and Mbueno and the right-hand side. Pretty much same team for us. We just brought in Clark for Cabango on that left centre-back position. So for Delap, if you can go around Ethan Pinnock, he has got a 5-star weak foot, and now he does put it into the back of the net to make it 1-0. Getting the first goal in these kind of games against the big teams just makes a world of difference, and it is Liam Delap again with another goal. I think that's his 20th of the season, if I'm not mistaken, which I think for, what, 1.5 million I think we spent for him. It was originally a loan, but I thought just make it permanent, there's no need to wait. And yeah, with the ability to develop players to have 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot, he's pretty much the perfect build once he gets up to a good rating. Unfortunately, it's not his 20th, it is his 19th. Nice bit of skill to keep the ball now into Benrahma in the box. Now slips it across for Toney. First shot of the game for Brentford, do make it 1-1. Really powerful shot, and not much I could do, really. Don't know what I can prevent that goal. Maybe Rodon could be a little bit faster and in front of the man, but other than that, it is a good goal from Brentford. Chance on the edge here for Marcondes into Ivan Toney. Just take it with his left foot and it's into the back of the net. That is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure, I don't think I can see here, but I'm pretty sure Ivan Toney's right-footed. But he scored both the goals with his left foot, so maybe he's got a 5-star weak foot. But yeah, he's absolutely running right at the minute. And yeah, after being 1-0 up, we are now 2-1 down to end the first half. On to the lap now into Ida. Slips it out for Max Bird if he can get himself into the box, and with the shot, yes he can. Makes it 2-2 in the 60th minute. Really, really big goal. It's what we need. We need to get 3 points if we're gonna. We need to win literally every game between now and the end of the season if we are going to get into the automatics, because of the gap. And yeah, we need to go for everything in this game. Silva into Jensen. Slips it through for Ivan Toney with the shot, but a good save from Ben Foster. Don't want to lose this game at this point. We'll take the point. They have just taken off Toney. There we go, full time against Brentford. A much tougher game than the Watford game. And only managed to get the point in this one, but I'll take a point at this point, because against teams like Brentford, as you can see, they had a lot of the ball, and we did kind of struggle. Loan offer for Yuan, who I think I'll just accept because I don't really use him, and I'm not too, again, I just don't really care about people that aren't real. I'll go accept it, because if I can get a bit of money, that'd be nice. There we go, we've accepted the 600,000 for Innocent Yuan, 59 rated. He's never going to be useful for me, and that's the thing with these career modes. Like, because of being promoted within the first season most of the time, it's very difficult to really get any use out of academy players. But I have just changed Burn to a right wing back, and I've actually gone to change Lee Buchanan to a left wing back, because next season potentially I might look to play 5 at the back. I'm also looking to move Whittaker to a striker, and also moving Jordan Brown to a CDM, just because I don't think at 5'11" he's not really tall enough to be a centre back. So that's what we'll probably do with him. So the scout report is here for Damari Gray. As you can see, the menus are broken, which is great. I just don't know why it happens, so I'm going to just have to go over to my transfer hub to see what kind of rating he is. I think he's about 76, 75, but at 24 with very good pace, agility, balance, really good dribbling at 84. There's no reason I can't get him up to 80s at least. And DeAndre Yedlin will eventually get, hopefully, a rating for him. I think he's around 73, maybe 74. I don't think he's gold anymore in terms of like 75 rated, but he's at least a high rated silver. So yeah, final game of the episode against QPR. I don't know, Harry Wilson just, I don't know where the best position to play him is, because he hasn't exactly amazed us in the first few games. It's kind of interesting that we put Clark in and we actually did better with Cabango. But then again, Brentford are a really good attacking team, so I can't really complain too much. Max Berg going to a 73 rated player, and Adam Ida up to a 68. It's nice to see when players are growing, just because it, you know, tells you a lot. And as you can see, Byrne has actually gone to a 71 rated player, because I've changed him to a right wing back. I think he can still play that role well enough, and I can always move him back if need be. But as I've got so many wingers, I'm kind of just sticking with Ibe on the bench, since he can play both sides. Here we are then against Queen's Park Rangers. I'll probably give Wilson this, I don't know, it's kind of a last chance out on the right mid. I just don't know where best to play him. He obviously very good at free kicks, but finding his best position is a bit of an interesting one, kind of similar to Rooney. But yeah, let's have a look at the QPR team for today's game. They have gone for a 4-2-3-1 with Dieng in goal, Ryan Manning at left back, Todd Kane right back, Barbe and Jeff Cameron in the middle, then Tatsuta and Luke Amos in the middle, then Ose Samuel and Shodapo out wide, Cher and Lyndon Dykes up front, very good, powerful striker. So no Rob Dickey, which is interesting to see, because he's a new signing, of course. But yeah, let's go into this game and keep up this unbeaten run. Chance out wide for Harry Wilson. Can he get a decent shot off? He can, but has been blocked twice. Chance here for Ida if he can hold it up. Now slip it in for Liam Delap with the first time shot wide of the post. Chance here for Delap through the middle. Is he onside though? With the shot and into the back of the net. I think it's offside. Yeah, it's definitely offside. Really unlucky. Delap's had a couple of chances now, and we could potentially be 2-0 up. Chance here for Joswiak. Nice ball through from Max Bird. Now with the shot into the near post and into the back of the net. Really good player, Kamil Joswiak, and I would like to get him further up the pitch, as I always do say, but I just don't know. I don't know how to get all these players in the same team in exactly the position that they need to be playing. But yeah, as long as we're winning games, then I'm happy with the team. Chance here for QPR with Ose Samuel. He's gone around Roden, now into the near post to Dykes with the shot and with the goal. Does make it 1-1 there just before half time. Kind of got the defence pulled apart, and Clark didn't cover, and I just don't know what I can do defensively unless we go to a 4 at the back, but then it means we have to play less strikers or midfielders. Wilson with the ball here. Joswiak is in a good space to slip in. Hopefully he can get the shot off. He can, but he's blocked. He's off for Joswiak. Can he get the shot off? Takes a little bit too long, but it is into the back of the net in the 89th minute to win the game. Kamil Joswiak, I think he's got both the goals this game. I'm pretty sure he did. Maybe I'm wrong, but he definitely scored in this episode. I can't remember, to be frank. But yeah, I thought he took it a little bit too long, but he's gone to that near post somehow and got the goal to win the game in the last second. There we go, full time against QPR. It's good to get a goal late on against QPR. Bit of karma from all those years ago in the playoff final, but yeah, a little bit. I don't know. We could have easily been 2-0 up. It was Joswiak with the first goal. Yeah, a couple of goals from him. And he wasn't exactly playing left mid all the game. I'm not too sure why that was. But yeah, I think we definitely deserved the win in the end. Transfer offer for Curtis Davis from I think a Turkish team. probably get a little bit more money, so I'll try and negotiate the extra 40,000. But I'm not too fussed if we only get the 450. Obviously, you won't go until the end of the window. I'm not too sure why this is bugged with the manager faces, but as he's 35, I'm not really going to get too much money for him. If we just go for that 470, as they offered 460, and there we go, 470 for him. Nice bit of money. He might not even accept it. We did get a loan for Jack Marriott, but it didn't come in until the end of the transfer window, so it wouldn't have gone on through anyway until the end of the season, so a little bit frustrating. But with that win, we're still a little bit far away from Nottingham Forest. We have scored 102 goals now, which is good to see, but we're only 3 points off Watford, so it's good to see we're closing that gap. And even if, you know, we finish top of the playoffs, then we'll get the weakest team in the playoffs, so there's always that to look to. We also do play Forest quite soon, I think. I think it's within the next 3 or 4 games. We've got Preston. Well, it's not 3 or 4, it's maybe 5. But yeah, we've got Nottingham Forest soon. And we also play a few teams in the playoffs, Bournemouth, and it's not the toughest of run though. But I tend to struggle more against the teams lower down in the table. So it'll be interesting to see how we do towards this last stretch. We have only got 12 games left of the season. There you go, Curtis Davis has been sold. Unfortunately, my messages thing is bugged. I don't know why. It's like literally I cannot move off that scout report, which is a little bit frustrating. But as you can see, I've done most of the training drills up to like a B or a standard. There's a couple of them that are ridiculously hard. Like, I don't know how people get more than like a C. But yeah, we have got a bit of play development here to Lee Buchanan, which we will switch to a left wing back. I think I'll try and get his skill moves up as well. Just nice to be able to do a roulette with a fullback. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. We're currently 4th in the table. It's a bit of a gap between us and Forest. It's kind of crazy how many points they do have. I don't know if it's possible. Is it possible to close it down? 14 points. I just don't know if they're going to drop that much. I just don't think it's going to be possible to get the top 2 now. And we're going to probably have to settle on the playoffs. Which is a bit of a shame. Because I just don't think 14 points, like 14 points in 11 games, I don't think that's possible for Forest to drop those points. But we'll just have to keep trying. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Make sure you leave some comments down below on any pre-contract signings. I'll have a look if they are expiring, and if they are, I'll add them to the shortlist. Yeah, leave a like if you are enjoying the series, and see you soon. Bye.